Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Elizabeth A. Corshu. I am the host of the podcast titled Mic'd Up and Unapologetic, where power, purpose, and presence meets the mic. This is a podcast that has been established in 2025 really to speak truth to power, because I believe that people of today's society are looking for the real, honest, and raw truth. Today, I have the distinct pleasure of bringing my divine, distinguished woman heart champion, sister girl, Rolanda Perkins. She is a phenomenal educator, advocate for women heart, just heart disease in total. But I'm going to, before we get into our wonderful conversation about the topic, which I'm pretty sure that most of you are watching this live tonight, it's talking about your toxic workplace may be the reason that you are at risk for heart disease. Your toxic workplace is raising your risk of a heart attack. Correction. So before we jump into that topic, your toxic workplace is raising your risk of a heart attack. I would love to pass the virtual mic over to Rolanda Perkins and ask her to give us a brevity about who she is, Miss Perkins, what she does. I do know one fun fact of Miss Perkins. Yes, she loves to do the double Dutch jump. Yes. I've been watching. Kind of tell us a little bit more about that, but I pass the virtual mic to Rolanda Perkins.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much. Okay, I'm Rolanda Perkins, and I am like Miss Elizabeth. We are both women heart champions, and we advocate, we educate, speak on behalf of women with heart disease. And I started this whole journey in around, let's see, 2011, when I went to the Mayo Clinic at the Science and Leadership Symposium, and they trained me on how to be a facilitator for a support group. So that's how I started my whole women heart journey. Prior to that, I was volunteering with the American Heart Association. So I volunteered for both organizations. It was first the American Heart, and then it turned out to be Women Heart. And presently, Women Heart is where I stay and do most of my education work and volunteer work as well.
Awesome. And can you kind of share with the audience, the live audience, and those that are catching the replay, what inspired you to get into double Dutch before we get into your topic tonight?
Well, I grew up on Long Island in New York.
You did?
I did.
Okay.
And we used to double Dutch. That's what we did. That was one of the things that we did, outside. We used to double Dutch all the time. And I had not double Dutched since I was a little girl. But in 2023, Delta Sigma Theta sorority had a community health forum.
Okay.
And I went to it, and I saw this group of women jumping double Dutch. And they all had on their red and black and white. And I'm like, who is this? And so they let us jump. And they let us hula hoop. Anything that they had there, they let us do. And so I was like, okay, let me find out who this group is. And I found out who the group was. and it's the 40 plus Double Dutch club. They started
Mm.
in Chicago, but they have many different sub clubs in different states. And there's one in Nashville, and the one in
Okay.
Nashville was where, well, they were in a different town, Murfreesboro, when the Deltas had their health fair, but they were there, and
Oh,
I
okay.
joined. So I've been a member now since what, 2023.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, wow, wow. Okay, so my sorors had this event. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay, okay.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're always out there doing social action and edifying and fortifying the community. So that's beautiful to hear.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna kind of lean right in, and oh, that's so great to learn that you. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Another fun fact that you're from Long Island, but
Mhm.
you have such a deep Southern accent, though. Did you come? Did you move? Like, did you transplant early or
1985 is when I got here. Mhm.
really?
Sometimes you can hear a little piece of accent,
Okay.
sometimes you can't.
Oh
But yeah.
wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I've
So
been here in Tennessee since that time.
oh okay. Well, I can't wait. I have that's one state I haven't gotten down to.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I need to come down and visit you and Jay
Mhm.
Utley,
Mhm.
right? So, hey, JL, if you're watching. So, can you walk us through the moment you realized your body was breaking down? Because we're talking about how I really I want to say that I respect you sharing and being candid and transparent about how you shared that your work environment was very stressful
Mhm.
and you felt that strongly that it led to
Mhm.
the heart attack event. So if you can kind of share with
Mhm.
the audience tonight what exactly was going on in Rolanda's body and where were you? Like what was going on at that time? And maybe you can share what how old you were at that time too.
39.
Mm,
39 is when I had the heart attack. So that was back in 2005. So I
okay.
was 39, and I was working at the child abuse hotline. Um,
Mm,
and I was a supervisor at that time.
okay.
Um, so, I had a lot of responsibilities on me. But it wasn't the information that,
Mm,
got in my head. Like I was able to separate that when I went home.
okay.
Yeah. It was basically the office politics, the staff there,
Mm,
uh, lots and lots of chiefs, not a lot of Indians, but everybody wants to be, in charge. And so it's just a lot going on with that. Um, and at the time I was having, I had a headache. Um,
hmm.
and I experienced this headache for an entire week.
And
So,
may I ask a question? Because as a nurse, I'm going to assess.
okay.
Can you show us exactly what, because there's different types of headaches.
Mhm.
Where in what part of your head was the headache most pronounced?
If I can remember, it was just maybe right around in this area.
In your temple area. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But it was a headache that stayed. It actually, it came and it went and it came and it went. So I thought it was a migraine, but it wasn't. The only reason that I thought that it was a migraine was because I heard people talk about how bad a migraine headache is.
Mm,
And I had never ever experienced a migraine headache before. And I
okay.
was like, maybe that's what it is because
Yes.
it won't go away.
Okay.
Hmm.
Wow.
So,
Okay. So that was the primary symptom that you were experiencing.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So looking back,
Hmm.
if you can think back to that time,
Hmm.
what were the red flags? Were there any type of red flags that you felt that you dismissed while you were working or,
Hmm. There was, uh, it was a lot of stress. Um, just like I said, lots of office politics. So it was a lot of stuff going on at the time.
Mm.
So the red flags that I can remember, it was the stress, and overabundance of stress. And again, it was not the information that we gathered on the phone on those hotline calls. It was everything that was happening inside of.
So, so what I'm hearing is it wasn't even the emotional turbulence, turmoil of the actual members, the encounters that you've had with the families. It wasn't even the stress of them. It was more we call it the office politics,
Mm-hmm,
the water fountain politics,
mm-hmm.
the in the kitchen, in the cafeteria politics.
That's it. That
Politics, yeah, yeah.
was it. That
And
was it.
when you don't play well in the sandbox,
They try to make it hard for you. Let's
they
just say
make
that.
yeah. I always used to say, I'm not the one that plays well in the sandbox. I'll be throwing the sand.
I've been known to throw a little sand here every now and then myself.
but
Mhm,
but all jokes aside, and I'm thankful that you survived it, right? But
mhm.
all jokes aside, what eventually happens is because you're not a key player of the workplace politics, it can start chipping away little by little
Yeah.
at your morale, at your values, at your
Mhm.
beliefs. And I don't think people realize how suppressing all of those emotions have to go somewhere. And
Yeah.
they will literally get stuck in your muscles,
It
in
shows up in your body
your
somehow.
body. It shows up in your body. It
Yes, ma'am.
really does.
Mhm.
So
Because
I'm
for you, for me being a person, I'm just there. I'm doing my work. I'm producing. I'm whatever it is that I have to do, I'm doing it. And just because I was functioning, I really never thought that something could be wrong because I felt like I'm showing up. I'm
Mhm.
doing what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I have this headache, but that year I have this headache, but all of that was everything that you just said prior to me saying what I said. It was pouring all that into me, and so my body was responding to that.
Mhm.
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 Yeah.
So how did your diagnosis change how you view work, or how you view success? Like some people are like, I gotta make head VP by such and such age. I gotta complete this degree by such and such age. I gotta get this house by such and such age. I gotta get married by such and such age. I gotta have children by such, and we know, right? We know life
Mhm.
doesn't work out like that.
Mhm.
So in regards to thinking about back then in 2005, how did that diagnosis of the heart attack completely change how you viewed your work and success in life?
Well, for me, I'm not real big on I have to get this and I have to get that before a certain time. I've heard people say it, but it just hasn't been me. But for me, uh, I would say that the diagnosis changed the way that I thought about being in that office. Like I felt like it meant that I needed to respect my peace, to respect my boundaries, and not let all the little office politics um, again get in my body and create stress and
Mm.
so I had to find different ways to release that if it were to happen again. um
So can we pause right there?
yeah.
So how did you find ways to release? Because some people don't know how to release.
I had to start first off. I got into counseling
Mhm.
eventually because I had to,
Okay.
going through the type of trauma, and that's what it was. And really I didn't realize that until years later.
Yes.
Going through that type of trauma, there were certain things that I didn't know I would experience, and depression and anxiety was one of them.
Mm, mhm.
Oh yeah. and I never expected that.
Yeah.
So I eventually had to uh, reach out to a counselor, or a therapist, whatever.
Yeah. It's a therapist. Hmm.
So I got him on speed dial.
I
You
love it.
know,
I love it. I love it. I love it. Can you say that again for the people in the back? Because I'm telling you right
got
now.
him on speed dial. And I'm
Yes.
gonna tell you that happened so many years ago, but because of the trauma,
Mm,
um, in 2023, like I had to reach out again because something happened at work, and something happened at work, uh, and it wasn't a place that I'm usually at
mhm.
in my day-to-day work experience. And
Yes.
so I had to be in a certain place, and there was so much going on there. And I was trying to control it, and I couldn't.
Mm,
And when I left there, I felt funny. I
mm,
drove to Walmart and I took my blood pressure.
mm.
I can't even remember what my blood pressure was, but it was sky high. But I knew that something was going on because I felt it in my body.
Baby,
Yeah.
tell it. I know it. I know
Hmm.
it. I
Hmm.
had one. I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I had a similar situation years after my heart event, and I was
Hmm.
literally director of cardiac services, sitting
Hmm.
in my office and my
Hmm.
desk, and suddenly I felt like a haze, like a daze was over me, and I immediately called the tech, the EKG tech, send a tech in my office like stat
Because
with
you knew
blood pressure.
something was
With
wrong.
a blood pressure, my blood pressure was 210 over 150. Honey, I called the chief nursing officer of that hospital. I said, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
I will be going to my cardiologist on my lunch break. I was not
Hmm.
playing.
Hmm.
And I at that point in time, I told the cardiologist, you need to put me out. He was
Hmm.
like, but you're fine. I said, I'm telling you right now, my blood pressure might be fine now because I'm out that building,
Hmm.
but you're going to put me out. You
Right.
are going to put me out. And these are the things that we have to advocate for ourselves. So
Yes,
kudos
we
to
do.
you that
Yes, we
you
do.
did go to counseling, a therapist.
Hmm.
I had to do a therapy back in 2021 because, honey, 2020, that global pandemic that a lot of people
Hmm.
sweep under the rug like it never existed,
Yep.
it was a lot.
It
Okay,
was a lot.
it was a lot.
Yes.
And I got a therapist, and let me tell you, whoo,
Hmm.
honey, it,
Hmm.
people should have a therapist like they have their masseuse or their
Like
hairstyle,
they have their dentist
their dentist on
and
speed.
their PCP.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
they should have, like you said, on speed dial.
Yep.
So, but
Yep.
moving on to the next, is there anything else you wanted to share before I move into the next question?
Um, no, because I had already forgot the question. So
Okay, okay. We're just having a joyous time. How so since you had that experience back in
Mhm.
2005, I'm just going to assume that you're not still there. You might be somewhere else.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I'm actually I'm with the same department, but I'm in a different division.
Different division. So
Mhm.
how do you assess whether your workplace is impacting your health? Like, how do you know? You remember that song by Whitney Houston? How do you know?
Mhm.
How do you know?
Um, if I'm feeling stressed out,
Mm,
if just like in 2023 when I felt something was going on in my body, if
mhm,
I'm feeling that my body is, I tell people now to listen to your body, and now I can listen to my body. I know when something is wrong. And
mhm,
so if I'm at work and something is wrong and in my workplace I feel like it's impacting my health, my body actually speaks to me in those forms. It's like, okay, you need to stop what you're doing because something's not quite right. So I listen to my body now. If your family members see something different in you, it's you probably need to stop and think about, okay, well, what's going on at work? Because if you're coming home and they're noticing something not quite right about you. Every time you come home, this, and this. So, people can see outside of what we can see.
Mhm.
Um, so listen to what those folks are telling you. What did I say? Listen to your body. I always tell people to listen to their bodies. That's one of the most important things. If you're feeling pains or anything in your body, if you feel tightness in your jaws, your shoulders, or whatever, it's probably something going on. That's a part of that stress. So I would say those would be some things that I would say that would impact your health at work, and
Yes.
and just be conscious of those things. Even your sleep. Are you
Yes.
sleeping well, or is your sleep being interrupted because of, your mind racing because
Stress.
of what happened at work?
Stress.
Yeah. So sleep was a big issue for me as well, and I had to just learn how to sleep. I was actually working third shift when all that
Mm.
happened. So
Oh
I would come
my.
home, and so sleep was a big deal for me. So if your sleep changes and you're not getting rest, and then you're going to work tired, and then whatever's happening at work, if that's stressing you out, you know that it's impacting your health.
Yes. Well,
Hmm.
thank you very much for to
Hmm.
elaborating on that. So then, in regards to when it's time to choose your health
Hmm.
over your title, how do you know? How do you know? Because some people are really, we talked about it at the top of the live.
Right.
Some people are really like title driven,
Hmm.
salary driven, so how do you know? Again, sound like Whitney Houston. How do you?
And I said that I'm not necessarily that type of person.
Mhm.
Um, but again, I think I take it back to, if your body starts negotiating with you, and you know you're listening to your body, and it's like, okay, this is too much, I can't take this. If you go to work every day and it's like, I hate being here, and some people, they just hate being there, then it might be time for you to leave and go. I mean, and it's easier said than done,
I'm
and we know
sorry. I'm sorry.
that. But if you are going in there every day, and I know people like that, it's like, I hate this place, then, it's going to start showing up. The way that you talk to people, the way that you respond to them. So when you get to that point, try to find,
Don't even wait to get to that point, because that's a whole other level of stress you just don't want. And
right.
and nowadays, finding a job, like 10 years ago, finding a job is
Hmm.
not of the same way of today. Today, the
Right.
market is saturated.
Hmm.
So don't even wait till you get to that point.
Don't wait till you get to the point. But you know what? Sometimes we'll be at that point, excuse me, and we're at that point for so long, and we don't really realize it until someone says, well, why don't you just leave? Because all you talk about is how much you hate that job. Sometimes we just don't realize it, because it's like we're in survival mode, and we're just doing what we know to do
I
every day.
I literally I literally had a conversation with a colleague in one of the jobs that I worked, and I basically kind of I was like her therapist because she was complaining to me every day. And finally I said to her, I don't know what your end goal is,
Mhm.
but if it's not to own a company, to move up to move up in a company or to retire, I really don't know what to tell you. You got to make a decision.
Mhm.
But eventually I'm so happy she did make a decision. She left the position. She went on and became a professor at a university to
Good for
teach
her.
students, and she's so happy. And I
I
told
know.
yeah.
And that's usually what happens when we leave. It's like all the stress stays there and it's up off of us, and we can move on in our lives. But when we're in that thing, we don't realize that until we get out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So then that goes on to the next question, which says, what practical steps can someone take if they cannot immediately leave a job?
Well, they
I'll tell you, I have one, but I'm waiting to hear what you got to say.
um if they can't leave, I would say, like, what I used to not do, I used to not take the breaks that they gave us. Like, if we got a 15-minute break in the morning, 15-minute break in the afternoon, and then a lunch break, I would work through my lunch break. I wouldn't necessarily take that 15-minute break. I would just go use the restroom when I needed to use the restroom. But, I would say take time for yourself. Utilize whatever it is that they give you. Take time off. There was a time when I did not take time off. If
Mm.
you cannot leave, that is one of the biggest things. I I have a cousin who she calls it her sabbaticals.
Oh yeah,
And
that's what I was gonna lean into. Hmm.
in December, she takes every Friday off. So she has a 3-day weekend every week in December.
Hmm.
And that's part of her sabbatical. Just self-care, self-help for herself. Get massages. If you need to do that, then do that. Massages relax me. Oh my goodness. I love massages. So if you can't get away from your workplace, you have to learn how to do things for yourself. Don't be involved in the office politics. You might have been that person before, but that's part of that stress. So just remove yourself from that. So there are little things that you can do.
Or, I've been in situations, like I said, I've
Mhm,
been in positions where I've had staff that literally were so stressed because they were probably the primary breadwinner.
mhm,
Um, they were a caregiver to a mother, a father, maybe a child with disability, and then
mhm,
that's another level of stress. And finally, having the discussion about exploring, like you said, PTO or
mhm,
family leave, medical leave. I had a may her soul rest in peace. Actually, my best friend, she passed away this month about eight years ago.
hmm.
She loved saying, just like your girlfriend would say about sabbatical. She's like, oh yeah, the FMLA is a sabbatical. And I never, would you believe, I had never, ever, ever, ever even broached the FMLA talk, because just like you, even PTO, like I did not want to have to take any vacation time unless I had a planned vacation. Like I used to hoard my vacation time.
I did too.
I'm so serious.
I
But
did too. And then I was like, why are you doing that?
yeah, but honey, when stress comes knocking at that door, it's like I always have a song, so I'm about to pop a song out by Anita Baker. It's like when stress comes knocking at your door, it's like the rapture. It's rapping, it's knocking at you. It's hard and
It's
fast,
banging.
banging. So you got, if you got time, take
Yes,
it,
most
and
definitely.
be intentional, like Rolanda said.
Yep.
If you're gonna have a long day, long 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend, take it.
Mhm,
If you,
mhm,
I am the queen of, I've explored all types of alternative therapies. I've done Reiki, I've done acupuncture, I've done
mhm,
massage, I've done reflexology, you name it. I done did it. Okay, mud baths. Those are the best because it detoxifies everything that's in your system.
mhm. And
So
now at least you know what works for you.
yes, yeah.
Mhm,
So whatever works for you, some people just like to go out for a walk, or some people
mhm,
like to, I don't subscribe to smoking, but some people say, "Oh, I got to go get a smoke," but that's certain people.
That's a different topic.
Yes, it is. Now, in regards to if someone's listening right now
Mm-hmm.
and feels that they're having pressure in their chest,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think they should do first?
Probably call 911
Oh, good.
and not sit and try to self-diagnose. That's what I did.
And do not do WebMD.
Do not go on that internet.
Yes, yes. Do not go and
Because
self-diagnose.
they're going to find everything that they think it is, and it might not be that, but they're going to find everything that they think it is. They're going to start freaking themselves out. It's going to cause a lot of stress,
More unnecessary stress.
unnecessary stress. And if you just go get yourself looked at, go to the doctor. And you know what? One thing I would say, if I had somebody drive me to the hospital, but had, they called the ambulance and they drove me to the hospital.
Excuse me. Say that again slowly. What'd you say? Did I hear that correctly? Excuse me, knock knock. Did I hear that correctly?
And that's not the best thing to do, right?
No, because you could have died in that car.
And that's what I'm saying, because if the ambulance had come, then they can start working on you right away. So don't do that. Don't drive yourself, but do call 911 because they are equipped to do whatever it is that they need to do to keep you alive. So that's one thing that I did, and I know that that was wrong now. So call 911. Don't wait to see if it's gonna pass. Because if you've been experiencing it and if it's there, something more than likely something is going on that you really need to get looked at. And think of it this way: when we're talking about women specifically, we have atypical symptoms, and our symptoms are not going to look like everyone else's, or it's not going to look like everyone else's. One woman's symptom is different from another woman's symptom, and then women have atypical symptoms. It's not that typical. For me, it wasn't that typical. Oh, my heart is hurting, there's some pain in my chest. I actually did feel that only after the headache. The headache was that atypical symptom that I experienced for an entire week. I chose to ignore it. Do not ignore it. Wow. And then when I ignored it, then my body was like, okay, you're going to ignore this one? Then let me hit you with something else. That's when that typical pain in the chest symptom happened. And then when I felt that initially, I self-diagnosed it. I said that it was indigestion.
Oh, Lord.
Because I had never felt anything like that before. And I was like, well, what is this? Then I'm telling myself, well, if you feel this in the morning, then go to the doctor. I should have went to the doctor right then. I went to bed. And it woke me up out of my sleep. It was about 4:30 in the morning. It woke me up out of my sleep. And then when it woke me up, now a whole week I had a headache. And then I felt the pain in my chest the night before. Still didn't go to the doctor. And I only went to the doctor after the same pain woke me up the next morning in the wee hours of the morning. Then that's when I went to the emergency room.
Baby, you are blessed.
I am. I know. I thank you, God. Every time I think about it, I'm just like, thank you, God. So with that being said, like, when I was, when they did go in to see if I had any blockages, and they woke me up on a table and they were like, we couldn't find anything. And the first thing I said was, thank you, Jesus. I'm like,
they didn't find any blockages?
They didn't find any blockages.
That is a testimony.
I know. And I'm lying on that bed. And the next thought that came to my mind was, you are still here for a reason. That was the very next thought. I didn't know what that reason was. I was glad I was still here, but I didn't know what that reason was.
That definitely sounds, wow. So is there anything else, parting words you'd like to share? Because I have, at the end of the segment, I love to close out with what is called rapid fire edition, where I ask you some questions and you just gotta just go with it. I didn't give these to you. You just gotta think fast and just share. Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, rapid fire, the toxic workplace edition. Burnout or warning sign? Which one is more important?
I would say warning signs for me.
Okay. Title or peace?
Peace.
Promotion with pressure or demotion with health?
You said demotion with what?
Promotion with pressure or demotion with health?
Demotion with health.
Toxic boss or toxic culture?
Ugh. Neither. um, but if I had to choose one, I would have to choose the toxic culture over the toxic boss.
Okay.
Both of those are ugly.
Okay. Hustle culture, helpful or harmful?
Hustle culture, helpful or harmful? I It could be harmful.
Okay. Silent stress,
It could also
more
be helpful. I'm sorry.
silent stress, more dangerous or loud or more dangerous than loud stress?
I think it is because you tend to hold in more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I could that would be a whole nother live. I could talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
I culturally I talk about all the time. It's nothing against the two cultures that I grew up in, but Haitian and African culture, they're very big on keeping things within, not complaining.
Mm-hmm.
Just Black culture in
Mm-hmm.
general, we're just
Mm-hmm.
taught to just keep everything, just be very stoic. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, I had to do a whole that's like I said, that's a topic for another day. But there's actually books that talk about how stress will manifest in different parts of your body based
Yeah.
on whatever it is that you're going through.
I learned
So
that the hard way.
the
Mm-hmm.
hard, yeah, the hard way. And believe me, I'm a living testimony to all of that, and that's why I
Mm-hmm.
told you I've done the Reiki, all those alternative therapies. So boundaries, weakness or survival skill?
Survival skill.
High salary, high stress. Is it worth it?
Is either worth it?
Yeah, which one would you take? High salary or high stress?
Well, with the high salary is going to come high stress. Both of those are. mm. If I had to choose one, I guess I would just take the high salary because the high stress is going to come with it.
Well, if you have the high salary, you can go on more trips, right?
You could.
And you could definitely get more massage envy or Pilates classes or whatever. Okay. Um, normalize chest tightness, yes or no?
Normalize it?
Hmm. Yes or
No,
no? Okay.
we don't want to do that. We don't want to normalize. Mm-mm.
PTO unused, red flag.
Uh-huh. That means you're not taking breaks.
Okay. I'll rest later, truth or trap?
Truth. I think people use that a lot. I have this to do, I'll rest later. That was part of my story. I have this to do now.
Or
Yeah.
or I've had people say, "Oh, I'll rest when I'm dead." Oh, that just unnerves me
I've
when
heard
I
that.
when I hear that. Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
so ignorant to me,
I'll
but
rest when I'm dead. I get
we all will.
really but anyway, job loyalty at what cost? Yes or no?
Job loyalty at what cost? Yes or no? I'm not sure how to answer that question Because if job loyalty is causing me stress, we ain't gonna have a bunch of loyalty as it relates to that job. Because I'm gonna take care of me. Nowadays, I'm taking care of me. The job,
but if we could go back to 2005, would if I asked that question,
it probably would have been job loyalty. I know better now.
Okay. Work emails after 9 p.m. necessary or toxic?
Negative. It is not necessary. If it can't be handled within the allotted time that we're at the job, maybe you can do an hour after, but not.
But real talk though, real talk. There are people in organizations that are literally right now it's 8:46 p.m. that are literally typing up an email and expecting, I'll make up a name, Sarah. They're expecting Sarah to be online at that time, or at least respond at 7 a.m. the moment she turns on her computer.
Sarah's like, I'm preparing for bed at 9:30, and I'll be at work when I get at work, and work starts at whatever time. That's when I'm gonna open my emails. That's what Sarah better be saying. But I used to be Sarah when I worked directly with children and families, and I did all that. It's way too much.
And we're laughing about it, but it's serious. This is serious.
It is
serious. Because
you go to bed on that, and then you get up in the morning and go right back to work.
Yeah, I've gone through. I had bosses like that expect, and I was like, oh, we about to shut it down right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Because some bosses feel that, oh, well, because your salary, you to work 24 around the clock. No, you have to have a boundary. You have to. Microaggressions, emotional or physical impact?
Both. No, I would say more emotional impact, those microaggressions.
Well,
I mean, but it can
be both.
Itself physically.
It can be both. Yeah, because if it's not handled emotionally,
that's right.
It's going to transfer. We talked about how emotions get stuck in different parts of our body. Yeah,
that's right.
All right. Now the last rapid question. Resignation letter, freedom or fear?
Oh, that would be freedom. That would be freedom. Especially when you know it's time for me to go. And in that resignation letter, you're gonna start putting everything in there that you wanted to say, before. They gonna know everything. So that is freedom. Let me get all this off my chest. Let me tell you what Darlene was doing and what they do on lunch break. I need you to know all of this.
Oh my God, you have me laughing.
Freedom. That's freedom right there. They don't know everything.
One time I'm laughing because one place, I'm not going to call the establishment, but if the colleague that is watching, she would know exactly. I had left one particular establishment, and they were doing us so dirty. And I remember, and not only was they did us so dirty, emotionally, understand the whole nine. But one of the worst situations, are you ready? There were Mickey Mouse on steroids. And you heard me. I don't want to call the word. Mickey Mouse. What does Mickey Mouse on steroids look like?
Okay, keep going.
Okay, there. If you said you're from Long Island, right? So that means you've taken trains into the city. So in the city, in the subway tracks, what do you usually see? And they look like the size of cats.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right. So that particular establishment, they were not handling their handle. And I was like, okay, I see how this is gonna go. I'm just gonna have to take pictures and proof. And
document.
Yes. And what I did, I remember I was so upset. And I even spoke to a seasoned elder nurse who's retired, and she said, "No, don't do that. But I was like, no, I'm keeping this." So
Got
like you said, it's because it was a public health concern. It was a public
Yes.
health concern.
Mm-hmm.
And it was several. It was like a whole family up in there, you know.
Mm.
And it was like it was horrible. And finally, I remember being on my exit interview, and she says, "There any recommendation?" And I literally took the phone. It was a, you know,
Here's my list.
and I just basically, I didn't even want to see it up close and personal, but I opened it up and I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Here." And it was so large, you couldn't believe it. And she's like,
Mm-hmm.
she dropped my phone. But whatever, all I have to say is that whatever I said at that exit interview had profound impact, because
Good.
my colleague called me up and said, "What did you say to those people?" They came in the next day. They removed all the they removed everything out of it. They did a deep clean, deep dive, deep. I mean, they should have been. They
Yeah, of
should,
course.
you know, but and I left it at that.
Mm-hmm.
I would never say, where that place was, but like
Mm-hmm.
I said, if the person who would be watching, she would know exactly where that place was. But
Mm-hmm.
it was unfortunate. It was
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate, but I'm going
At
to,
least they did something about it, though.
yeah, and that's the thing. People have always said to me, Elizabeth, um, being a leader sometimes does not mean being recognized for the title or being popular.
That's right.
It's the one who's willing to stand in adversity, and I'm always willing to stand for what's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm glad and I'm the voice that leads. I am the person that's going to say. I don't say too much.
Mm-hmm.
When I say it,
Gonna have
it
some impact.
is going to have some serious impact.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to close with this last rapid fire question.
Okay.
Are you ready? Drum roll. Let me see if I have a drum roll. Um, if your heart could send you a performance review, what would it say today?
If my heart could send me a performance review, it would say, you've been doing a good job. Of course, there's some room for improvement, but you've been doing a good job from 2005 up until now. You did a whole lot better then, when it first happened, but I'm still, giving you your kudos because you're still doing some things good today. I like the way that this is my heart talking now.
Yeah, your
I
heart.
like the way that you're trying different things in the form of,
That's the drum roll I meant to give you.
oh, see, it's a rapid response question. I'm sitting here trying to think. But yeah, my heart is telling me that I like the different things that you're doing as far as exercise and not getting bored and staying active. So kudos, Ro, you're doing good.
Okay, that's what we call you, Ro. Okay, Ro. Hey, Ro. So, okay, so if there's anything else that you'd like to share, any parting words to those that are watching the live broadcast or those who will catch the replay, anything that you'd like to share that you've either learned, a aha moment, or something that definitely, since everything that has happened in 2005 up and all the way up to 2026, what would you like to share as your parting words?
The one thing that I always share as my parting words, because I feel like it's really important, and especially as it relates to women, is to listen to your bodies. Okay?
Mhm.
I feel like our bodies speak to us all the time. We might not know what's wrong, but we know that there's something going on. So listen to your bodies. Go seek out help, medical attention,
Mhm.
if you need it. If you think that something's going on and you don't know if you need it, just go and get that checked out. Go see. Know your numbers. Okay. Monitor those numbers, your blood pressure numbers and your A1C, all those other numbers. Because as you get older, it's like, things just start manifesting themselves. It's like,
Yeah, and put it this way: if you're focusing on the numbers that are in your bank account, the numbers
not
that are
those numbers.
in the credit score, get to know your numbers that are regulating your body, because like um, our body is a wonderful machine,
Mm-hmm.
but the machine needs constant, consistent discipline and care.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And it's the health numbers I was talking about. I didn't specify that, but
no,
that's
I know it was the health numbers, but
okay.
I purposely said that because
Thank you.
I wanted people to know what
Mm-hmm.
numbers, the blood pressure numbers, your
Mm-hmm.
blood sugar level numbers, are they normal,
Mm-hmm.
hemoglobin, A1C, all of
Right.
those things. And if you don't, we are a digital age. We are at the, we have the luxury of having phones at our fingertips, the
Mm-hmm.
internet. I tell my kids, they laugh at me. I said, I had to spend many a days doing book reports, being in the library, 3 days, 4 days a week.
Yep.
You have it at the blessings of your fingertips. So,
Yep.
yep. Or easy swipe, or you have an app. There's so many things, so many things.
Many. Mm-hmm.
But I just want to say thank you so much. We actually talked longer, but I felt like it was much needed.
Okay.
And this is our month, Women's Heart Month,
It is.
and keep doing the phenomenal work that you're doing. Someday I hope I get down to Tennessee. What's the delicacy to eat down in Tennessee? What's popular there?
They I know they do hot chicken here, I believe. I'm not a big hot chicken eating person. That's
Oh,
just
okay.
not
I
my
thought you
thing.
were trying to say alligators or something. No.
No, I think that would be in Florida, wouldn't it?
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, I'll figure it out someday when I get down there. But thank you so much. I hope you have a great evening. Keep doing your wonderful work, advocacy. And Roro is on the double Dutch bus. You're gonna. What's your number? Is the number? I saw numbers on the back of jerseys. Is that the number? Your age number?
That is our age.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And my number is 59. I'm not ashamed to say that.
Oh, well, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. All right, my dear. Take care. Have a wonderful evening and have a wonderful 2026.
Thank you. Do the same.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.